Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please direct your attention high up on the high wire, where Fifi Touche will be doing her high wire act. Wieners, frankfurters, wiener sausage. Get your hot wieners here. Frankfurters, wieners, frankfurters. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever wanted to make your own hot dog? You ever wonder where the hot dog came from? Well, step right this way.
Who's the chef that you know? It's Chef Bill.
Hello friend, Chef Bill here. Today I'm going to take on quite a challenge. I'm going to make my own hot dogs from scratch. Now, frankfurter or wiener, it's all the same thing. It's a few different types of meat blended up in an emulsification. That emulsification is made of fat and water. Then that filling is stuffed into some kind of casing. Today I'm going to use sheep casings, and I'm going to use 100% beef for my hot dogs. Are you ready to go? Let's get started. Kitchenaid mixer with a meat grinder attachment. I have about 2 to 3 pounds of beef chuck here. Now I have boneless and I have some ones with the neck bone in it. The ones with the neck bone in it I was experimenting with. I'm going to use most of it for a beef stock, but I thought I'd just take the meat off since it's a lot cheaper. Got a little less than a pound of meat off of those bones. Here's boneless chuck. Has enough fat for my hot dogs. There's not a lot of fat on this meat, so my hot dogs are going to be a little leaner than normal, but that's okay. I do want to cut those pieces up and put them in the freezer for a little while because my meat should be a little frozen before it goes into the grinder. Putting the chuck into the grinder, making a coarse grind. I grind the meat again on a finer setting. Put that in the freezer for a while. Frankfurter, Wiener, Vienna sausage, Würstchen. The name Frankfurter comes from a city in Germany. However, that same type of sausage was made in a city called Vienna in Austria. The German name for Vienna is Wien. So there comes the name Wiener. It's time to get out the Cuisinart food processor. I'm going to take about 2 cups of crushed ice and fill the bottom of the food processor. I'm going to have to do 2 batches on this grind, so I'm going to fill up the food processor with half of my ground beef. I'll put the recipe to my spice mixture in the description below, but I do want you to note the curing salt. I'm using something called pink curing salt number 1. This is a preservative. It contains sodium chloride or table salt and sodium nitrate, which is toxic to people in large doses. I'm only using 1/8 of a teaspoon for about 1.5 pounds of ground beef. You do not have to use pink salt at all, but it does give the hot dogs that distinctive pink color. I'm going to put more information in the description below about all these ingredients. Now the blend. You have to pulse it a little bit for a while and then take the temperature, which is really important. You do not want your meat to get above 50 degrees Fahrenheit. You're going to have to work the machine quite a bit to get that pink, uniform, paste-like consistency. Now it's time to stuff the casings. I did have to buy an LEM sausage stuffer for this job. I'll put the links in the description below. Once that's filled up, we're ready to go. I've rinsed, soaked, and washed out my sheep casing. Threading it on the horn is tricky, but if you put a little material in front of it, it will slide on. You slide the whole casing onto the horn before you tie it off at the end. Carefully guide the casing as it comes off the horn. When you're done, twist them into links and you are ready to move on to the poaching phase. Poaching in warm water, 170 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 minutes. I'm going to cover the hot dogs with a kitchen towel so that they will all get submerged in the water. After 20 minutes, an ice bath to cool them down and to stop the cooking process. I'm going to take some chopped up dill pickle, some caramelized onions that I've made. I'm getting my pan hot and I am ready to cook my hot dogs. I cook them in a little butter. You don't want to overcook them. I probably made them a little browner than they needed to be. This is a little trick. I take some more butter and I toast the bottom of my buns with that. Put on my relish, and that is my house-made hot dog.
Herr Bergerman! Oh, merci! You saved my life! Perhaps you should call your little sandwiches hot dogs!